Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your winter solstice reading. Winter solstice on the 22nd of this month for 2023 represents the longest night of the year, but it also symbolizes the return of the light as the days begin to increase again. And this is an entree into a time of hibernation, stillness, silence, retreat for those of us in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, this is the opposite. The sun is at its zenith. You are most likely staking a claim on your place in the sun, on your place of belonging in the world. So I have mixed up these African Tarot and the Tarot of the Divine into one deck. I'll clarify with the Crow Tarot and mix up a couple of oracle cards along the way. I thank you primarily for the time that you're spending with me now. I value that. And I also am appreciative of all the support that you give me to do what I do. So, your overall energy, Cancer, is judgment. Judgment is about hearing the call. This is about finding your purpose, the thing that you may have experienced as being resonant with who you are, what is significant and important work for you to accomplish in this life, whatever that is something that you are getting a call to respond to at this time. Things that may not, when you receive that call in the past or recognize those opportunities that were resonating with your purpose, may not have turned out well in the past. My sense is that you've always recognized those opportunities, but for whatever reason, you weren't ready, the opportunity wasn't appropriate, or the timing wasn't right. Things didn't work out, but now you've gained the experience and the awareness to understand the purpose of this opportunity. It's far beyond ego or gratification or simply your happiness. It's more deeply connected to what it is that you came to Earth to accomplish, what it is you're here to affect or impact. This is a beautiful awareness, heightened awareness that you are getting a do-over, a refresh, an opportunity again to make this opportunity a success this time. And in so doing, this is you understanding that there is a purpose and that you have a place in that purpose as well as all others involved. This is a beautiful moment of clarity, rebirth for you. In the present, we have the High Priestess. In the past, the Knight of Cups, and in the future, the World card. Definitely something is closing out, something's coming to a full circle, something is reaching its natural conclusion. You are resonating again with an opportunity that has always been a reflection of the self-knowledge that you contain. This opportunity, this rebirth is in alignment with what you have come to know about who you are and what your talents and purpose is. This may be reflecting in some way on memories which hold the key to the experiences you've had, the various roles that you've played in your life. The kinds of experience you've had and your ability to utilize the things you've learned about yourself through those experiences is now giving you the chance to be strategic, to be wise about the skills you've gained as you close out this cycle, what you've mastered in preparation for a new beginning. And it is really through opening up your heart, recognizing that there are new opportunities, new desires that you have birthed, that you are recognizing within yourself. Perhaps there is some opportunity to release your imagination, your more intuitive nature, your more creative passions are operative in a way that you haven't allowed them, or there hasn't been the correct stability or security in your life to allow them to flourish in a way that you now see possible moving forward. This is absolutely gorgeous energy. It feels really flowy. It feels really embodied in terms of this incredible wisdom that comes from your ancestors. There's a heritage here that you are enacting, you're embodying. This can be literally relatives or allies that exist in other realms that are actively guiding you, supporting you, applauding your achievements. And it's important as you move forward that you recognize that you have accomplished much. You have accomplished something significant, and that this rebirth allows you to maximize this achievement, the skills that you've mastered, and open up in a way that is greatly gratifying and speaking to your greater potential. In the past, the Knight of Cups is clarified by the Five of Cups and the King of Wands. There's definitely loss that you are processing, and that's always one of the interesting aspects, I believe, of the High Priestess, because the High Priestess is referencing memory, past experiences, and the Knight of Cups is also giving you the courage to actually face, confront, and feel through this experience of loss that you've had. It can be the loss of a significant role model in your life, someone who was important in protecting you, mentoring you, partnering with you in some way. But this loss is something you are still grieving, you're still feeling, and it naturally takes a long time to process loss. This loss is putting you in mind, in mood of other significant losses. And the way that what you have learned from this particular loss, this particular relationship, you're opening up to that deeper connection within yourself that other person helped you see, helped you appreciate, helped you to grow through. And in that way, it is your gratitude that is inspired by the passing or the experience of this partnership, this support in your life, and your ability to, as I said, to be brave in your experience of the range of emotions, to release the regret or the remorse or the guilt or the sadness by feeling it and experiencing as a way of surrendering and letting it go. In the present, the High Priestess is clarified by the Sun and the Fool. Wow, I love it. You are absolutely preparing yourself, prepared to move forward. And it's interesting to me how this reading feels like a continuum. I won't say backwards, but it feels like a continuum that you are processing experiences that are allowing you to fully close out this experience and move on to this path of happiness. And you're moving forward in a very big way. You have so much faith in yourself as a result of the skills you've gained, of the partnership that you've lost, and yet you are where you've gained from. the ability, not only from the guidance, the partnership, the connection with this person, but with the enhanced ability to allow yourself to feel the various intense emotions that this loss brings about. So that in and of itself represents a kind of continuum. And you are, through your experience, even through your example of releasing this, you have invested in yourself the faith that someone else once invested in you. You now are internalizing that and trusting in the universe. That is what is giving you this ability to bring the joy, the pleasure, the creativity to the work that you do, the mission that you're on. You are able to experience your vast or internalize your vast experience at the same time that you're able to release your innocence, your joyfulness, your playfulness into your environment in a way that brings your happiness, is like bringing the sun to the party. You are exhibiting this light and exuberance that illuminates the experience of others, the possibilities of this new adventure that you're on. You're really uplifting others to understand how important the mission you're on is, not just to your ability to be joyful, to experience the abundance of the world, but the work you do is important and sacred in and of itself in some way. You're releasing all of this and you're moving forward onto a new adventure, taking everything that you have learned with you. The memory pouch that the fool carries is the high priestess and her memories. He is able to take nothing with him but his memories, his knowledge, his self-knowledge. That's all that he needs to know that they can endure any challenge, hardship, or difficulty that lies ahead. Without knowing where the end is, it's the journey itself that is bringing you happiness. You don't need an end destination because now you have trust that all is working out as it should. In the future, the World card is clarified by the Eight of Cups and the Two of Cups. Wow. Great love is illuminated by this experience of release. This great love that you experience through this relationship with a mentor, a parent, a partner, wherever this partnership, however it informed you, however it inspired you, has opened you up to the necessity of your finding that in the world, reflecting that in the world, what you know within, the gratitude you've gained from that connection, from seeing the possibility for connection throughout you, throughout the entire world. The moon is the reflected light. The sun is the light. And so this is a beautiful union. It's interesting because the sun, the number 19, breaks down to a 10, which breaks down to a 1. The high priestess is the 2. So there's a synergy here that ironically produces the 0. So there's a flow here that you now have internalized, and you are leaving what is safe, what is sacred, what you've achieved, what you've learned from, and you're moving on to something of greater significance to yourself, something that completes your mission. And this is internalized in not only the marriage within yourself, but in important connection in the world. This can be you taking a partner with you on this journey. It can be you leaving a partner behind and moving towards a new kind of partnership. I'm going to pull a Starry Beginnings Oracle card and ask if you're resonating, Cancer, with this reading so far, to please like this video, share this with someone who may find it useful, comment below, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I pulled, you are your greatest gift. Your life's journey is your masterpiece. And I'm also going to pull a flora and fauna of Africa because I want to honor the motherland, but I also want to honor your ancestors who are preparing you, who are guiding you in the work that you've chosen. And I pull the chameleon. And the plant associated with that is the passion flower. And the key word is adaptation. Don't just blend in and hide. Express yourself. Assert yourself. Trust your resilience. I'm going to clarify with the Crow Tarot the past, Five of Cups, with the Queen of Wands, and the King of Wands here with the Nine of Swords. This loss was significant. This loss was definitely a deep spiritual partnership, a soulmate of some sort or another. For many of you, it was a parent. For some of you, this is obviously a partner. It can be a sibling. It can be a relative. This is someone who you were deeply connected with. It doesn't mean that the road was always easy. It looks as though this was a turbulent relationship in some ways, or at least for some of you, the relationship was turbulent. But you have really allowed yourself, because of the opening of your heart, because of this phenomenal resilience that you have internalized, you have allowed yourself to go all the way down into the depth of your shadow world to really exercise all of the painful emotions, including feelings of shame or guilt that may have attended the loss of this individual. It can not necessarily, it doesn't have to be an individual, although it feels that way to me. It can be a thing, an important partnership, maybe a business ended, perhaps a project or a place you worked, it no longer is available to you. Perhaps you've left an important employment opportunity or professional position. Whatever it is, you have really externalized the emotions by expressing them freely with courage and tremendous amount of confidence. Releasing this has really buoyed you up to be able to receive this powerful sun energy, to reinvest faith in your abilities and in yourself. And that is what is seeding the Fool card in the present. I'm going to clarify the Sun with the Four of Cups and the Fool card with the Temperance card. Yeah, there's an element of balance here. The King and Queen of Wands is bringing an element of balance, and the Four of Cups is actually mirroring a kind of emotional achievement, growth, and expansion that you've done. That emotional growth and expansion has not necessarily taken you to the place that you thought it would. This has taken you more deeply into your own practice of aligning yourself with those things that support you, that feel good to you, that recognize your value, that appreciate you. This in and of itself is a big curve for you. And in doing that, you've actually found the things that make you happy. My sense is that your happiness was not a part of your early environment. Perhaps providing protection, happiness for others is what you expected this practice of aligning yourself with your own desires would bring you. Instead, it has accomplished this sense of growth where you now recognize your wholeness, your lack of neediness of the desires, the appreciation of others, but you're valuing that nonetheless. You're recognizing that this is what's been missing, perhaps, from much of your interaction with others, much of your emotional connections has lacked this sense of appreciation, joy, and togetherness. Healing that has been part of what has taken you to this recognition of the faith, the resilience that you now are experiencing in your life. There's a feeling here of having released a lot, let go of a lot of what you had accomplished in the past. And understanding that that represents achievement. This is kind of being reinforced that you have achieved things. There may be a feeling that depending on the environment, the efforts that you've made in the past, that there's a tendency to think that nothing was done, nothing was accomplished, but that is false. You're being asked to consider your incredible emotional growth, the way in which you process your relationships in order to value the give and take in those, and the pleasure that you extract and that you expect in your interactions. That requires this balancing and healing of something perhaps where you gave to others exclusively without an expectation of return or even appreciation. Healing that is what gives you the faith and the confidence that you can withstand anything, that you can face any challenge that is headed your way, and that it is really the joy and appreciation of maximizing the abundance around you that is your accomplishment, that is your goal, that is the destination, in a way that makes an endpoint, a target, a goal, irrelevant. The Eight of Cups in the future is clarified by the Knight of Wands, and the Two of Cups in the future is clarified by the Six of Cups. It's so interesting because the cards are basically reinforcing my experience of this reading so far. This is a lot about the way that you've learned to base your relationships on equity, where you have pulled back from the experience of needing to be the giver, needing to provide, perhaps falsely basing that on an understanding that others were not capable of taking care of themselves as well as you could. This really means that you are also recognizing how you have not been taken care of in your relationships. And this union that you are experiencing is anything but that you're moving towards, I should say. This union, this connection, this significant compatibility that you're experiencing is based on explicit agreements and understandings about how receiving and giving is negotiated, expected, and shared, how goals are contributed to and supported in each other. And this is coming from your openness to doing things differently. The Knight of Wands is about leaving behind relationships that are based on an old algorithm and moving towards something that that you experience differently, that comes from a desire to grow and expand, to learn, that is inspired and motivating. So you want to grow in your relationships, in your capacity. That is the path that you have launched on. Those are the skills that you have mastered in this direction to building equity in your connections and relationships. I'm going to pull a Language of Flowers oracle, and I pulled the tuberose, and the key word is desire. Be certain of where you place your passion. Thank you so much, Cancer. Until next time, namaste.